Hi, I'm Erin Young, together with John Schinnerer. We're both from the Sociocracy consulting group. You may have found yourself in situations facilitating meetings and decision-making processes, and can perhaps appreciate the various challenges that come along in that sort of space.
So we wanted to briefly share with you a few common questions that we hear regarding facilitating responsive and also consent-based decision-making in meetings. Some of these may help you have more effective and even more enjoyable meetings. You may get some increased creativity, and you'll get ability to handle change and complexity more flexibly. So Erin, what are some of those questions?
Okay, so John, one of the questions we hear is what is different or even difficult about the sociocratic facilitator role?
Well, in my experience, that depends on what other facilitation approaches someone is used to or has experience or training in. The sociocratic facilitator's role is simply to guide or lead the processes the group has agreed to use together, and that's all. In some other methodologies, the facilitator may take on, or the group may expect them to take on, more than that. A quick example, I had a client group where I was coaching their general circle in meetings to help them keep the processes and agenda on track. They were doing kind of an on-the-job training situation. The person they chose as facilitator had some facilitation experience, was learning the sociocratic approach, did well leading those processes once she got used to them. But from her other facilitation experience, she also was used to taking on other responsibilities that a sociocratic facilitator doesn't take on. So for example, she would be trying to answer all the questions herself, resolve objections herself, make sure everyone behaved, so to speak, and so on, by herself, because she thought that's the facilitator role, right? But in a sociocratic circle, these are responsibilities of the whole circle, of all the participants. The facilitator is just leading the processes.
Okay, yeah, and thereby distributing the voice and the design of how things go in a way.
Mhm.
So another question we get is how does the facilitator deal with people who are difficult in meetings and decision-making processes, or who continually break out of the agreed upon process?
Yeah, for me, it's crucial for a facilitator, a sociocratic facilitator, to understand that they're not responsible by themselves for making people behave. The self-regulation, going along with the processes that we've all agreed to use, is a responsibility of everybody in the group or in the circle. And everyone is responsible for holding and supporting those processes and supporting each other in doing that. I think you have an example, Erin.
Yeah, so in those cases where someone is um, being disruptive in whatever way that happens for a group in a meeting, it's not the facilitator's job necessarily to fix the situation while everyone else passively watches along and that person takes control. It's more a situation of collaboration where the facilitator uh, asks the group and reminds the group that it's the group's responsibility to hold the process and field for ideas and proposals for how do we move forward in the situation where our agreed processes are being challenged.
Exactly. Yes, yes. And handling that issue will play out differently in different groups, different contexts, different personalities. We have an upcoming training where participants get to work with each other's actual contexts and each other's challenges. We do role playing, we do simulations where participants support each other, working through facilitation challenges. And everyone in a role play learns from it, whether they're in the facilitator role or some other role. And so speaking of our upcoming course, what's another common question we get about that is people ask, what about facilitators that aren't currently working in a sociocratic context? Is there anything for them in the training?
Yeah, we cater for facilitation in general by giving good solid foundations for facilitation and methods and skills. And this can be applied in all sorts of situations and organizations, even if it's not officially sociocratic. Some of the things we help participants connect with in this way are things like how to do advanced preparation so a meeting is designed well and to intend for it to happen effectively, how to structure the agenda so that it's clear and makes sense and has a good flow for the group, how to help people connect well at the start of a meeting to set up for an effective conversation together, how to track the focus and the time of the meeting to stay in connection with the agenda that's been agreed upon. And generally, this training we share is applying the wisdom of sociocracy process to create more effective, more enjoyable meetings that give groups of people more ability to handle complexity and change with more creativity, and therefore, get to where they want to be together in a better way.
Right. And just to be clear, part of what we cover is specific to sociocratic meetings themselves, the increased effectiveness, what the facilitator's role is and is not compared to other approaches, and also the responsibilities of circle members, which is the other meeting participants, and what their role is. And of course, for the facilitators, leading the processes themselves that are used to increase collective intelligence and produce higher quality decisions. Erin, maybe you could just give people the brief details of the upcoming course.
Sure. So our Facilitating Sociocracy course is a 6-week program that runs over 6 sessions. It starts on October the 12th in the Americas and October the 13th in the Australia-Asia region. Each session runs for about 2.5 hours live with John and I and the other participants. And we hold the space to be interactive and experiential and give people an opportunity to share their own experiences and learn from other people's experiences, while also being supported by a rich resource base of particularly sociocratic shaped resources that deal with facilitation challenges that people can use moving forward from the course. And this all starts on October the 4th. Sorry, registration's October the 4th and we start mid-October.
Great, thank you, Erin. So thank you, everyone. Hope to see you on our course. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us. Thank you, Erin.
Yeah, thank you, John. See you there.